Welcome into the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, listening on Hockey TV as well as on the audio-only YouTube live feed over on the Jacks YouTube channel. My name is Michael Wazinski, the voice of the Odessa Jackalopes for this 2021-22 season. And what a start to the month of February it is for the Jacks as they take a point against Lone Star back on Thursday to start off a 3-3 series against two different opponents. The first time that is happening for them this season. Then a turnaround dominating performance last night through 60 minutes. 7 goals against the IceRays. It is the second time this season that the IceRays have allowed 7 goals in one game. The first was October 22nd in a 7-4 loss to the El Paso Rhinos, who lost last night to Lone Star. So Lone Star is still ahead of the Jacks in the standings, but the Jacks clearly making a statement against a team tied for 5th place with Amarillo. 40 points for the IceRays, 19-2 here in the regular season. They're still 6-4 in the last 10 games, and they have their 4-game win streak snapped last night, pretty dominantly, I might add, at the hands of your Odessa Jackalopes, who put up 4 in the first period, their most in the opening frame, and now ties them with the other 2 periods as the second and the third. There's been a few games this season with the Jacks netting 4 in those periods. And the IceRays are now 8-9-2 as the visiting team. They have a total of 735 penalty minutes after taking 14 last night. As for the Jacks, still sitting in 3rd place, but 2 points away from hitting the 50 mark here during the regular season. They have a record of 22-14-1-3. They are 4-4-0-2 in their previous 10 games, and they are currently on a 1-game win streak. They now have 10 wins here on home ice, but 12 overall. They have a home record of 12-6-1-2. They have 631 penalty minutes. A large portion of that came at the hands of Mike Manzo, who was out of the lineup this evening after his altercation with Casper Gilberg towards the end of the second period yesterday, as he was shown the locker room and could not come back. Gilberg only got a 2-minute minor for head contact. That was a roughing call against Manzo, but also a gross misconduct for abuse of an official. And again, he is one of the 4 players going to the top prospects tournaments, and also head coach Scott Dewar will be joining the Jackalopes team, not for the South, but he will be the head coach of the NAHL Selects team. His assistant coach will be Dan Wildfong, who is the head coach of the Lone Star Brahmas. The Jacks have 134 goals this season, which is the most out of any South Division team. They have allowed 119. As for the IceRays, they have 111 goals and have allowed 129. Here's how the IceRays lineup will look. Cam Crawley on the second line, Charlie Merkley at center, and Nathan Butler still the leading scorer for the IceRays on the right side. On defense will be Kevin O'Keefe, who did not play yesterday, and alongside him will be Brandon Rourke, who also is new to the weekend lineup. In between the pipes is Stefan Carney. Yesterday, it was Damon Beaver who was in between the pipes for that sweep that Corpus Christi had back on December 17th and the 18th against the Jacks. It was the first time the Jacks were swept all season long. The only other time was a few weeks ago in Lone Star. But Beaver was ran from his net after allowing 4 goals on 15 shots, 3 of which came off the stick of Dane Hoyard. Scored a hat trick, not just overall in 60 minutes, but did so in just over 12 minutes in the first period. So impressive last few games for him, as he'll be taking Liam O'Hare's place, who is out injured and cannot participate at the upcoming Top Prospects tournament. And it's the second year in a row that Hoyard will be showcasing his talents in front of hundreds of NCAA scouts as well as NHL scouts. And this time it will take place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this Monday and Tuesday. Again, all division teams as well as the Selects and the USA U17 team will be playing a total of 2 games, one on Monday, one on Tuesday. For more on that, visit the league website for timing. And it all starts on Monday and wraps up around Tuesday afternoon, and then the Jacks come right back into a 3-3 series, but it will be in Corpus Christi, Texas. This is the last home game of the month of February for the Odessa Jackalopes, and their starting lineup will look like this. Last line of Ryan Mansfield, Ryan Kusler, and Tanyan Bejier. And on defense, it will be the captain, Frank DeVorney, and his assistant captain, Charlie Bankier. To his right, in between the pipes, will be Noah Ruprecht, allowing Proctor to, of course, get some rest as he heads into quite possibly the biggest 2 days of his NAHL career, as him and Benny Halaz will be representing Team South. There's another goaltender that will be playing as well across the divisions. That will be Max Kuchar from Amarillo, as he is going to be playing for the Central team. And there's also Arthur Smith of Lone Star, who's playing for the Selects. We have Noel Elementary tonight, who will be singing the national anthem. It is the Honor Choir, a large group of them over by the Zamboni door. And we will have them singing in just a second to cap off this 3-3 series here in Odessa, Texas.
In the 3rd and 50th Assault Battalion during Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and was involved in numerous deployments overseas. After his time in the service, he moved back to the Korean Basin, where he raised his family and is a proud supporter of Odessa Jackalopes hockey. And now please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, performed by the Noel Elementary Honor Choir.
A very well done rendition of the national anthem sung by Noel Elementary Honor Choir, as it is their night to shine.
Please welcome the principal of Noel Elementary,
here tonight.
Mr. G. Chavez.
The captains right outside the off-ice officials box, as DeVorney will take it, the captain for the Jacks. As him and Charlie Merkley, one of the assistant captains, were there for the opening ceremonial puck drop. Jacks went 0 for 4 in the man advantage yesterday, as did Corpus Christi. However, they went 0 for 2. Both teams finished with a total of 40 shots. Proctor with a 39-save victory, and that only one that went past him was a redirect off the tape of Cam Crawley to answer Hoyard's first goal back in the first period. And the Giants went each period last night scoring a goal within the first 5 minutes. Again, this is the second of 5 straight between these two teams. The season series will end with the 3-3 next weekend in Corpus Christi, Texas. And the Jags have a big potential of separating themselves with Corpus Christi and potentially with Amarillo, who is spiraling out of control. Another loss at the hands of, this time, Wichita Falls. They were tied 3-3 after the second, lost 4-3. But they are currently on a 7-game losing streak, and A team that is in certainly despair right now. But the Jacks don't see them until around the middle of March and then right around the same time in April. So the Jacks are hoping that they stay away from them in the standings. But of course, you just want to focus one game at a time, one period at a time, and focus on the opponent at hand. And that is the Corpus Christi IceRays, who will be going left to right for the first and third period. The Jacks in their home whites going right to left from your vantage point on Hockey TV. Taking the draw is Ryan Kusler, who'll go up against Charlie Merkley. For the first face-off of the final game for both of these teams, it's the third one for the Jacks in a row after playing on Thursday against Lone Star. They have picked up 3 out of a possible 6 points here in this 3-3 series, and that one's tipped out in front between the circles off of Merkley, right past Ruprecht, 15 seconds in, and they go 1-for-1 on the Jacks.
It's the alternate captain from Fairport, New York, getting him on the board with the first shot of the game. It was an early start yesterday. Odessa got on the board first. The IceRays answered right back. Tonight it's the IceRays striking first. 15 seconds in. They hit the Rays. They have a 1-0 lead. That's Berkeley's 5th goal of the season, 11th point. Big jump point number 10 on the season.
Well, that was a quick start. One of the earliest goals the Jacks have allowed as Neskash gets hit on the far side. He is typically a defenseman, but with Manzo out, he is playing on that top right wing line with Hoyard and Finn. J.R. Pernian had himself a multi-goal game as well. He was the third star. Proctor was second. Of course, Dane Hoyard with 3 was the first star, as it was an offside call against the IceRays. And we are just about 45 seconds into this first period, but 30 seconds has passed since the IceRays have already got up on the board on their first shot. It was initiated from that far left point, right in front of the Jacks bench. It was redirected from the slot off the assistant captain, who took the opening draw against Kusler, Charlie Merkley. A big crowd at hand here tonight, as that one will tip up and into the safety netting for a halt to play. Again, both teams started hot out the gate yesterday. It was just the Jacks that never left their foot off the pedal as they continued to pour on the goals on not only Damon Beaver, but then Stefan Carney, who is in the net 200 feet away from Noah Ruprecht, I should say. Jacks dig away at on the far side. Wojciechowski comes away with it. He'll drift behind Ruprecht. Wojciechowski exits his zone. He looks to go coast to coast with it for a dumping chase. When an IceRay player meet below the goal line, Corpus Christi will play it out. And sending it across with Zagzebski. Over on to Contreras. Contreras left circle. It's played to the slot, and that one will glide past Ruprecht. They have it once again on the near side. Jacks knife it to the boards. Kelly sets it up for Duclair. The RIT commit. Plays it around 1. Gets it back. Has a man in the slot. And his pass is intercepted by Corpus Christi with 18:15 left to go here in the first of 3 periods. The Jacks scored within a minute and some change in the first period yesterday. That was followed very quickly, as this one's called an icing against Odessa, so an offensive zone draw for Corpus Christi upcoming. As the Jacks find themselves in a 1-0 deficit early on into this second game of the weekend series between them and the IceRays. The Jacks are 2-1-1 against Corpus Christi this season, but they now have beaten every South Division team here at the Ector County Coliseum with their 7-1 win last night. And sent back over to Duclair. We'll just lob it out through the center ice line. Picked off at the logo by Bankier. And he had his pocket pick, Devorny. Plays it right past the captain of Jude Curtis, who's one of the top prospects players for Corpus Christi. And Ruprecht will settle it down for Bankier. Bankier to Devorny. Devorny sends it forward. And the light behind Ruprecht is still going off as they finally have adjusted it. With it is Dvorny. Dvorny, his pass attempt is negated, and Jacks were also offside. And we have a whistle with 17:08 left to go here in period number 1. 3 shots on the board for the IceRays. 1 found the back of the net on their initial shot. Past Noah Ruprecht, it was a redirect. And a little traffic between those circles, but it was a shot from just below the top of the left point. And a little confusion on what the halt to play was, as now referee Ryan Siegel goes over to discuss things with head coach Mike Lisi of Corpus Christi. And the linesman also talking things over with head coach Scott Dewar. It was kind of played from the IceRays own end. And there's 17:08 left to go. Now there was the goal light behind Ruprecht that was being played off, or that I should say was being lit. And I'm not sure if there's something going on around there that has to be addressed. Again, that far goal light off to our right is what I can only think is causing the delay right now, as again, players are looking on, no media timeout. As we are just about 3 minutes into the first period, we've had some board issues this season, as well as some glass issues, but again, no rink is perfect. And I think that is what is happening down by that goal judge area, as the ref and linesman now come over as they are checking a pane of glass on that far side. The Coliseum director Aaron making his way over now to see. Oh, it looks like it looks like one of the stanchions that holds the panel in place came off, and I think there's a hole in the glass because the official slid that piece right back.
There's only one of them here, apparently. Okay, they're waving. Now that you're waving,
Right back to the county crew, unless they were putting it through the crack of the opening on the far side. It's hard to see from our vantage point. They have a ladder on that back end, and that is why they were trying to get the officials' attention, lighting that goal light behind Ruprecht. There wasn't too much action down around that end wall where, again, they are testing the piece of board right now, and they are able to snap it back into place. That's very well done by this county crew to be quickly on top of that. You also have the ladder on the far side. Again, we are just about 3 minutes in to a very interesting start to this first period, as it was the first shot by the IceRays that deflected from between the circles. And you're making the initial read from that top blue line shot where it came from. Of course, you always think about maybe it being tipped, but in the forefront, you're trying to make that initial save, and it's hard to read that with all the mayhem that was around him, as players were getting set up to block it and or trying to tip it, and it worked out in Corpus Christi's favor as they have a 1-0 lead here within the first 3 minutes on the final home game for the Jacks here in the month of February. The IceRays are 5-4 now in 2022. The Jacks are 4-4-0-2 here in the new year. They've been swept once, so have the IceRays. And the IceRays have also been shut out once. during their 4-game win streak. They had 18 goals for and 10 goals against, as players from both teams are doing another warm-up lap to keep the legs fresh. There's also a post-game skate with the Jacks following the conclusion of this game. Again, Connor Kuitt, Mike Manzo, I don't believe, again, he might just be out for this game. I have not heard if it was going to be more, but he is supposed to be one of the top prospects players to represent the Odessa Jackalopes in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this Monday and Tuesday. Dane Hoyard replacing the injured Liam O'Hare. And they also have Alex Proctor, who will be one of the 2 goaltenders for Team South. And then head coach Scott Doerr will be the head coach for the NAHL Selects team, which will have the opening game against Team USA's U17 team. As a 1:30 game on Monday. And his assistant coach will be the head coach of Lone Star, Dan Wildfong. Yeah, players remaining loose out on the ice for both sides, and this is certainly taking a little bit longer than anticipated. They did fix that one piece of glass that was over the right shoulder of Ruprecht, and good on the goal judges and the county crew to address that, as one of the linesmen is kind of giving it a few shoves to make sure it remains in place. They're now working on that far side area. Again, that's a little, maybe a new situation arising on the outside of the field of play. And it looks like linesman Jacob Poe wants to get the game back to a start here, as he's ready to drop the puck at this closest neutral zone dot across from the Jacks bench after that lengthy delay. The Jacks win it. Kuitt tries to fire it forward. This is a chance for the Jacks to kind of reset as they send it forward and tip it right past Carney. Carney had 3 go past him yesterday. Johnson fires one, saved by Carney. And Desmond Johnson played his first game in a Jacks jersey yesterday, acquired from Minot, where he played 8 games for them this season. And he had 1 assist. He started his NAHL career in 2019-20, playing 2 games for the Springfield Junior Blues. Since then has really been mainly with the Vernon Vipers in the BCHL. Merkley wins it back from his own zone. 16:45 left to go here in the third. Jacks trailing for the first time in this weekend series against Corpus Christi 1-0, as the IceRays heading offside. 3 shots to 2 in favor of the team with the only goal here in the first of 3 periods. A neutral zone drop right in front of us here from the broadcast booth. Kusler wins it back to Kuitt. Sent near side to Mansfield. He had the 4th Jackalopes goal yesterday, and the one that took Beaver out of the net and put him to the bench. Sent forward. A snapshot. Carried off the shaft of Mansfield. And Begier will send it forward. Tipped across to Mansfield. Mansfield, after it far side, drifts it back up top to Johnson. Gets around 3 players down at the blue line. Johnson with it low. Tries to wrap around play to the slot. And no one in a white jersey was able to pick it up. Great speed. That one's going to tip all the way into the safety netting for a halt to play. But great speed on display there from the 5'11", 180-pound Phoenix, Arizona native. 2002 born defenseman. Neutral zone draw after the redirect. IceRays win it back along the near side for Dom Foglia. And he'll just drape it deep below the goal line. Tall lean in after it. Sends it over to Wojciechowski. And his first NHL goal back on Thursday. And then had an assist yesterday. Jacks with it. Warrior fires one. Caught up somewhere. High on Carney, who immediately takes the mask off. It went up and out of play to get a new puck, but maybe adjusting the strap on the mask. All to play with 15:33 remaining here in the first. Shots are even 3 apiece. It's a very quick goal scored by Corpus Christi 15 seconds into this opening period. Off the stick of Charlie Merkley. These two teams have played one another 4 times so far. This makes it 5 of 8 this season. The last 3 will be next weekend in Corpus Christi, Texas. As Carney is still adjusting his equipment in his crease as we wait for play to resume here towards his left. But the team that has lost in those 4 games between these two teams has scored 2 or fewer goals. 3 times it was 2. Yesterday was the outlier in that 7-1 victory for the Jacks. Kelly with it now. Will spin away from danger. Sends it across for Bankier. Now back over to the captain. Devoyne with it. A forward pass to Perdian, who almost had himself a hat trick yesterday. About 30 seconds left. He had the puck on his stick and was denied by Carney. Kuznetsov gets around one. Passes it over to Casey. Back to Kuznetsov, left circle. And it rolled right off his tape for Casey. Kuznetsov tries to brush it back up top and has his pass intercepted by Duclair. Great stick handling from the Jacks. Duclair with it now. It rolled off his tape. Now to Christi. He fires one! And that one catches the outside netting. Duclair back after it. Duclair in the left corner. Jacks having great offensive zone time right now as they send it on back to Duclair. Back up top to Kristen. Kristen fires one and hit a body in front. Saved out wide. Duclair drapes it on back to Perdian. Perdian waits. Duclair, a one-timer from the blue line, punched to the boards by Carney. And it's played out by Corpus Christi. Sent along to the near side for Justin Hughes. The Montvale, New Jersey native, trying to get it deep. It was caught up in the body of O'Keefe as he fires it down. Coming out the play is Ruprecht. Will spin along to the far side and softly sent forward by Tallene. Butler with it far side. Butler in the left circle. Sends it all the way up top. A kick saved by Ruprecht. And nothing more comes of it with 13:40 left to go here in the first of 3 periods from the Ector County Coliseum. Again, you're listening to Odessa Jackalopes Hockey here on Hockey TV, as well as the audio-only YouTube live feed over on the Jacks YouTube channel. 5-5 are the shots, 1-0 is the score. That favors Corpus Christi. Draw to the near side in the Jack zone. They win it back to Tallene. Tallene weaves his way behind Ruprecht. Played right to the red line. And was picked off by Carlock and sent back into Odessa zone. Tallene will try once more. We'll get a tip off of Bangier's blade, and it works its way into enemy territory. Kusler able to pin his body up against the boards, and it will skip back out to the line. Tallene throws a big hit on the far side that will raise the hand of Siegel as he touches it up now from his own zone. And they're going to say head contact against Trevor Tallene. Corpus went 0-for-2 on a man advantage yesterday. Again, they entered this weekend series ranked 27th of 29 teams in the North American Hockey League on the power play percentage at 12.9%. They've only had 17 power play goals this season. The Jacks right around the middle of the pack in terms of penalty kill, as they go on the counter-printing penalty kill for the first time here this evening. Launching it off the glass and deep was Charlie Bankier. Duclair will give chase. Swept around by Stefan Carney, who collided with Duclair as he had passed it on back to Matt Harvey. Under 13 minutes left to go, and Harvey almost mishandled it right to the near side. Butler across, broken up in the right circle. Over to Butler, and a shot is denied from a stick in front. Play all the way back up top, and not in the right position was Harvey. Butler will get back to retrieve the frozen rubber. Butler enters far side. Will hit the bricks. Kelly all over him. He's got family in attendance. It's chipped around, and Kelly's off to the races. Kelly has it far side. He's got Kusler with him. Kelly across to Kusler. His shot is saved by Carney. Jacks have 8 short-handed goals this season. As now number 8 for Corpus Christi. They'll send it on back to Carney. As now they look to surge the other way with it. 8 minutes gone here in the first. IceRays up 1-0. Contreras with it across. It's sitting loose in the blue paint. And this time they make it 2-0. It's going to be Charlie Merkley with his second, and it's a power play goal. And now he's one away from a hat trick. There's just 11 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here in the first period. They're going to bring it back over to the neutral zone drop as it appeared to have touched somebody on the Jacks bench. 11:46 remains. Shots are tied 6 apiece. Jacks down by a pair. Finn comes away with it. Settled down by Wojciechowski, who's battling with Butler along the near side boards. Sent it over to Killian. Killian laces it across. Trying to gather it was Kuznetsov. Found in the logo by Hoyer. Now to Finn, left-handed shot. He throws one towards the net. It's a kick save from Carney. And Neskash going after Kuznetsov on that far side with 11:23 left to go here in the first period. There were a few chances for the IceRays yesterday that could have given them more than one goal or the night, but Proctor had some extra help from Trevor Talley and Charlie Bank here to keep it out from rolling past the goal line. This time, however, the mayhem in Ruprecht's crease. He would not be so lucky as, again, the Jacks were down an extra man on the kill. And Corpus Christi makes the Jacks pay for Trevor Talley's head contact minor. As that one's launched all the way down, icing is called as Bankier gets to it first. The most goals Corpus Christi has scored this season was 6, which came twice. First one against Odessa on December 18th, and then most recently January 22nd against the Rhinos. Jacks fighting for it hard towards the left of Carney. Ball over the goal line. And pops loose for Hughes. Penalty upcoming against Corpus Christi. The puck was loose on that far side, but blown dead by Siegel. Tripping is the call against the IceRays with 10:55 left to go here in the first period. With a 2-0 IceRays lead, and not happy with it is number 26, Brandon Ward. The Jacks now a chance to cut the lead in half here on their first Jersey Mike's power play of the evening. Again, this is their third game in a row. They played a playoff team in Lone Star, who they play very tight games all season long. Another one-goal differential game between those two teams, and now they're coming off one of their biggest victories of the season against a team that is tied in 5th place with Amarillo. Devorian and Butler were tangled up on that far side. Butler wiped out across its plate. Now Hoyer. He had a hat trick last night. He's got 4 goals in 2 games. Ahern tries to send it across to the corner. Scores! Power play goal for the RIT commit. Cut it in half. It's 2-1 IceRays. Both teams are 100% on the man advantage, and the RIT commit gets his 15th and the monkey off his back as he throws it down to the ice. 10:23 remains here in period number 1. The Jacks certainly needed that. Again, their power play is not one to, again, praise. It is something that, of course, you want to work on as much as possible. And head coach Scott Dewar and I talk about it a lot pre- and post-game interviews. And it's something that they try to do very often in practices, and he's always adjusting power play units. That one converts as they are now 1 for 1 on the Jersey Mike power play. Dane Hoyer with an assist as he extends his point streak now to 3 games here in this 3-3 series. 10 minutes left to go here in the first period. As that one's dumped all the way down, not reading it was Johnson as Ruprecht comes out to play it. Over to Johnson. Johnson from Phoenix, Arizona, races through the red line. Now the blue avoids a hip check that was thrown by Kuznetsov, or at least attempted to. The man that was sitting during that power play, Brandon Rourke, and dumped it across. And that will be deflected off the outside netting of Ruprecht's cage. As Jack Christian has it behind him. He's looking for a wing to pass it. As he launches it near side to Ahern. Nate's giving chase to it. Nate's. We'll see that one go right past him as Carney fired it over to the short boards on the far side. Hughes lobs it deep. Nate's in after, left corner. They'll leave it for Ahern. Tangled up on the far side. Jacks are without Emerson Good, Nate Bogue, Will Marshall, Lee Mohair, and now Mike Manzo. Wojciechowski with it, fires one, kicks off the end boards all the way over to the far side. And that one will flutter all the way down. It will roll on its edge, but not have enough gas to go for icing as Wojciechowski's being pestered from behind. He has some room on the near side. And icing is called against the Jacks with 8:37 left to go here in the first period. 8-6 in shots that favor the Jacks. However, they trail 2-1. I know some fans here in attendance know Duclair pretty well. They were shouting for him during warm-up, so certainly good for him to get a goal. Carney comes out to play it. Over to the corner, he sends it. Gets launched back to the near side. That one will be skied over Devoyne all the way down. Hand is raised. For an icing call against the IceRays. Only 8:15 left to go here in the first period. Duclair was right between the circles on that power play goal. And was able to wrist it cleanly past Carney for the first goal of the evening for the Jacks. From the offensive zone draw. And trying to find that Scatchel at near side. Intercepted by Corpus Christi. Going the other way with it. And pumping the brakes is Carlock. They send it from near to far. And to no one as Finn will pick it up. Finn plays it over. Warrior tried to send it right back to him. And we'll trickle back up top to the far point. Now put it over near side. Stick handling with it. is Crawley. As an IceRays player collides into the Jacks net. Collision will result in a dead play. No penalty was called. 7:41 left to go here in the first period. And from a coaching standpoint of our head coach Scott Dewar certainly liked that power play unit. They were able to score pretty quickly onto it. Curtis sends it over to Kuznetsov. We'll send it over deep for Casey. Play to the right of Ruprecht. They look for a wraparound. They don't get it. Coming away with it is Kelly, and he pivots behind Ruprecht's dislodged net. And again, the whistle is blown. A great turnout here from the Ector County Coliseum, as the Jacks won't be home for over a month. Their next opponent here at the Ector County Coliseum will be the Amarillo Wranglers on March 11th and the 12th. That will start their final homestand of the season, which will conclude on April 1st and the 2nd when the Mudbugs come to town. And they will finish the last 2 weeks on the road as they tried to tip one right in front of Ruprecht. It remained wide, and now it's played behind him. Sent all the way back up top. O'Keefe will lace it around the yellow trim. Getting to it is Seitz. Seitz being pestered by Devorny. Back up top to O'Keefe. He winds and fires one. It's a kick save by Ruprecht, and it's flipped up and eventually played out by the Jacks. They have numbers if they can hurry. Purdian far side. Kelly on the near side, and Purdian was stripped of the puck by Seitz. Seitz near side and now to Rourke. Down low for Seitz. Coming away with it is Kuwait. Icing his waves off. Seitz with it near side. 6:25 remains here in the first period. The score is 2-1 Corpus Christi, as Mansfield has it, and a lace a pass across for Johnson. Near side now to Kuwait. Kuwait passes the run line. They brush it over. Mansfield swipes at it. Saved by Carney. Right at the top of his crease. Kuwait fires one. Redirects all the way over to the far side for Mansfield. Mansfield has a man draped all over him. Still being passed. He'll pivot the other way. Throws it out in front. Backhanded towards Carney. Saved. Puck is still loose. And it's played to the top of the left circle. Broken up by Kusler. He'll turn and just kiss it off the glass. And now sits on the stick of Begier, who's pinned to the glass by Gilbert. Back up top to Desmond Johnson. Johnson from the top of the right point. We'll play it below the goal line. Kusler in after it. Kusler turns away from a hit. Plays it back out in front as he tried to feed Begier. And coming the other way with it now are the IceRays. It's fed back to Contreras. He's being watched by Tall Lee. He wipes out below the goal line as the puck rolls over to the near side. Hughes comes out with it from the board battle. Hughes will exit the zone as his team is making changes behind him. Hughes with it. Tries to deke out the defense. He got around two. Puck is behind Carney. And he gets the save, but it caroms over to the far side. Under 5 to play here in the first. Sent over to Butler. Butler, the lone man in. He fires one, saved by Ruprecht. Rebound still with the IceRays along the near side. Big collision in the corner. 2 IceRays and 2 Jackalopes in after it. And it works loose for the Jacks as Yates had his pocket picked, however. And as him and Crawley will now meet on the far side. Yates still after it, as is Hughes and Devorny. It comes loose for Corpus Christi. They send it over to the right circle. Now back up top, good poke check. Thrown by Ahern. And Hughes is able to softly play it out. And they do say it was an intentional offside. Linesmen aren't discussing things as well. And they're pointing towards the IceRays end. And that's where the puck will now be dropped with 4:20 remaining in a 2-1 Corpus Christi lead. The shots are tied at 10 apiece. Odessa heavily outshot the IceRays in the first period yesterday with a total of 21-14, one shy of tying their season high, but averaging over a shot per minute as Neskash And a rebound roll right off his stick. Jacks are offside. They have to go back to the blue line to tag back up. Sent deep by O'Keefe. After it now is Jack Christi. Christi gets it away, tries to knife it around Rourke. IceRays have it. Right circle, and good poke check from Bankier. And so just softly chip it out. Bankier again. Had a stick slash. No call. Casey sends it over. Right by Kuznetsov. Played right in front of Odessa's bench as there's 3 Jackalopes all over Kuznetsov. Right in front of Odessa's bench. Here, 3:39 remains in this opening period. Yesterday, there was a total of 5 goals scored in the first 20 minutes. So far, only 3. Neutral zone draw. Penalty box doors remain shut after the little altercation right in front of the Jacks bench. Again, 2 of 5 straight between these two teams. That's the most either team is playing an opponent in consecutive games. Sent to the near side. Gilbert winds and fires one. It's a pillow save by Ruprecht. It was also offside for the IceRays, so they had to go back and regroup. With it on the far side are the Jacks. They flip it over. Duclair's on side. However, he's not able to win the board battle as the IceRays clear. Will enter far side on the stick of Lewis. The left circle on that one does not find Ruprecht. It's knifed over to the corner. Johnson gives pursuit. Johnson banks it off the boards to Kelly. As it will drift all the way back down into the IceRays territory. Duclair. Sauces it near side. Picked up by a man in a black and red jersey. And they give it right over to Johnson. Johnson throws it forward to Duclair. Duclair races in. Right side for the Jacks. They shoot. Saved by Carney. He tried to tee it up from the right circle, and fanning on it was Pernian, as now it's a 2-on-2 the other way. Led on by Contreras. Contreras cuts in. Leaves it back. A shot and a body in front. A block shot from Tallinn, and another riser from Zagzebski. And is saved by Ruprecht. That one bounces over. Zagzebski unable to get a follow-up shot off as Tallinn knifes it to the boards. And again has his feet taken out from under him, this time by Contreras. And no call on the play. A hip check. Connects with the hips, not below the knees. Begier sends it over to the right side. Toe drag move and a shot and a body in front from Kusler. Mansfield with it. Begier with some room, patiently waiting. He'll just drape it on deep behind him for Mansfield. Mansfield back up top to the captain, Devorny. Now across, Bankier, he fires one. And a body in front, caught up by Carney for the whistle. 1:43 remains here in period number 1. 13 shots for the Jacks, 12 for Corpus Christi. Both teams 1 for 1 on the power play after not scoring on their man advantages yesterday. Odessa went 0 for 4, Corpus went 0 for 2. Draw to the far side. One all the way back up top. Bankier sends it over. Ahern gives chase. Ahern trying to settle down the bobbling puck. Hughes trying to send it to Yates, and it's picked off by the IceRays. Under 90 seconds left to go here in the first period. And ricochets all the way down. Doesn't touch anything. However, they wave off icing. And as Bankier will gladly take it as he looks to go end to end with it. Bankier will just knife it deep and head the other way for a quick line change. And a good hit thrown behind the net from Riley Yates. Ahern keeps it alive by shoveling into the bodies deep. It works its way back out to the neutral zone. And that one will go for icing as Kuwait and Jack Christi. We're not on the same page with that pass. 48.4 seconds left to go here in the first. And minus that early start from Corpus Christi after getting a little bit of hand-eye coordination from Charlie Merkley. as he was set up between the hash marks, redirecting the first shot of the game past Noah Ruprecht. Since then, it's just been 2 power play goals, 1 for each side. They win the ensuing draw, and a good defensive play by Kuhn as they tried to go left to right with a pass as he broke it up. And that was knocked off its pegs. They'll redo it from the same dot on the far side to the right of Noah Ruprecht. 45.7 seconds left to go here in the opening period. IceRays send it on top to Gilbert. He had trouble handling that one. IceRays are offside as Ahern collides with an IceRay player on the near side who is still down just to the right of the Jacks penalty box. And you can assume tempers will be flaring, not just throughout this game, but also the 3-3 next weekend to finish out not only the 5 straight, but also the season series between these two teams as very slowly get up. As Kuznetsov punched over in some discomfort as him and Ahern collided along the near side. And he does make his way back to the bench on his own power. 30.6 seconds left to go. No call on the play. And referee Ryan Siegel discussing things with Jacob Poe. Here the off-ice officials table here at the Jack Shack as we are just 30 seconds and change away from the first period intermission. Prior to yesterday's game, the only win the Jacks had was a Sunday game against Corpus Christi in Corpus Christi, Texas. And that was at the end of a 3-3 series for the IceRays. As now Poe makes his way back over to the benches on the far side. Siegel still discussing things over with the captains, Curtis and Devorny. Maybe giving some warnings to both sides. Changes coming for the Jacks. They're going to drop the puck right in front of the IceRays bench. Now the linesman and the head coach of Corpus Christi having some words. Duclair battling with Merkley off the draw. They still might want to go with one another. Butler's shot deflects high and into the safety netting. Merkley 2 goals, 1 away from a hat trick. We saw a hat trick in favor of the Jacks yesterday. Dane Hoyard's second. And both have been against Corpus Christi and this season. It was the first time the Jacks had a hat trick this season. Duclair wins the draw from his own zone. It's flipped off the glass by Tallene. And out of play it went. It's going to be brought all the way back down into Odessa's zone. 10 seconds flat left to go here in the first period. They lead in shots 13-12. They're up by 1 in shots, however, they trail on the score sheet by 1, and that is what matters most as we once again have a little bit longer to wait for play to resume as Siegel makes his way right back over to the off-ice officials box. Now Siegel heads over to talk to Corpus Christi's head coach, and they add 2 seconds to the clock. So now 12 seconds is on the board. A slap shot. Tips off the stick of Pernian and wide of Ruprecht. They fire one, caught by Ruprecht right in the breadbasket. As he dropped down to a butterfly save. Now 5 seconds even left to go here in the first period. Draws in the far side of Odessa's zone. to the right of Ruprecht. The Thief River Falls, a Minnesota native. Had that one ring iron just to his right. His best friend made the save. And Tallene will just clear it as the horn sounds, ending period number 1 of 3 here from the Ector County Coliseum. 13-13 are the shots. The IceRays lead where it matters, though, by a score of 2-1. Both teams have had one power play and have capitalized on it as well. However, 2 goals have been scored by Charlie Merkley, one of the assistant captains for the IceRays, and that has been the difference maker so far in that first period, as he scored 15 seconds in on the first shot of the night for Corpus Christi, as it was a redirection pass Noah Ruprecht, and then there was mayhem in his crease on the IceRays power play, and he was able to just easily tap it past him into the empty 4x6 net. And then Jacks had their man advantage, which they did not squander, as Chris Duclair was able to beat Stefan Carney from just between the hash marks in the IceRays zone, as again he was basically staring down the barrel of Stefan Carney, as it was able to just take a quick wrister and beat him for the Jacks' first goal here of the game. But again, to end a period against Corpus Christi this weekend, and they were down by 2 at one point, have cut the lead in half. And they did a great job of coming back in shots as well, as they tie it at 13 apiece after the first 20 minutes of play. We're going to step aside and get ready for period number 2 here at the Ector County Coliseum. Stay tuned on Hockey TV or on the audio-only YouTube live channel for the Odessa Jackalopes. We'll be back in just a little bit. Shack, IceRays lead 2-1. Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody listening on Hockey TV, or the audio-only feed over on the Odessa Jackalopes YouTube channel, as we gear up for the start of the second period here from the Ector County Coliseum. The IceRays up 2-1 over your Odessa Jackalopes here on the final home game of the month for the Jacks. Again, 4 players and head coach Scott Dewar will make their way tomorrow to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as they will be playing in front of hundreds of NCAA D1 and D3 scouts, as well as NHL scouts. And for those except Hoyard, it is their first appearance at the Top Prospects Tournament. And I do want to say thank you to all the fans that have come up to me, either at the jersey auction or that have acknowledged it over social media, or that have stopped me after the game this past week or two to congratulate myself on going and being one of the 2 broadcasters, as I was picked by my peers as well as Ashley Chase from the St. Cloud Norsemen, and us 2 will be splitting duties at the Top Prospects Tournament. I will be on a play-by-play call for 3 of them. I'll be on a color for the other 3, as Ashley will do 3 games of play-by-play. I will have both of the South Division games, and then I will also have the Team USA U17 team, as well as that matchup against the NHL Selects. It will be the first game to kick off the NHL Top Prospects Tournament. And again, head coach Scott Dewar will be the head coach of the Selects team, and alongside him will be the head coach from the Lone Star Brahmas, Dan Wild Fong. The head coach for the South is Phil Fox from the New Mexico Ice Wolves. The Ice Wolves currently trailing 7th place Shreveport Mondabugs by a score of 3-1. This is the first game for them of the weekend. They were supposed to play game 1 yesterday, but New Mexico had some traveling issues and could not make it, so the game got postponed. And the Mudbugs are having their Mardi Gras jerseys as well, so they have specialty jerseys over there. I saw Lone Star was up 1-0 over the El Paso Rhinos. I believe I saw Wichita Falls was leading Amarillo, who again are in a world of hurt right now, as they are slowly falling down in the standings. Them and Corpus Christi currently tied for 5th with 40 points. 1 above Shreveport right now in the standings. So a Shreveport win and a Jacks win here tonight and a Wichita Falls win would push IceRays and the Wranglers for a tie for 5th place at 40 points, as the Mudbugs would have 41. But again, Corpus Christi and Odessa have played the most games out of any South Division team. This is game number 41 of 60 for both parties. Shreveport is only on game number 37. They've had some postponements, a weekend series against Wichita Falls and now yesterday's. But the Jacks are off at the end of the month of February, as that one will tip forward but remain in play by the linesman Poe. Pagier will bank it off the end boards. Sent along by Carney on the far side to Kusler. Now near side for Crawley. Crawley leads the race the other way. Right wing. Lost a handle on it as he's being watched by Devorney. A down ice player in the mix of things. That was Brendan Rourke. And goes back to the bench for a quick change. As we're over 30 seconds gone here in this second period. There's a 2-1 IceRay lead. Begier comes away with it. A great move around. He falls down. And hand remains down from referee Ryan Siegel. And he never got a shot off on Carney. He had a nice deke around one of the IceRays defensemen. Back up top to Kuitt. Off the end wall. And Carney had his net pushed off its pegs. 19:02 left to go here in period number 2. Shots are still tied 13 apiece. Offensive zone draw for the Jacks on the far side circle. It's still fought in that circle. Jack Kristen keeps it alive from the far side point. Gilbert with it. Sends it all the way over. It bounces back out to the center ice line as it's passed near side to Kuwait. Kuwait gains the red line and launches it right towards Kearney. He'll deflect it over to the corner. And it's coming away with it are the IceRays. Stumple having trouble with that. And it looks like Hoyard's skate blade is knocked out of his skate as it's shoveled out the other way by Naskash. Hand is raised. Hoyard down on one knee between the circles of his own zone as he had his skate knocked out of his right blade. And Jack Kristen helping him on back to the bench as he has to get some equipment issues fixed before he can jump out for another shift. 18:21 left to go here in the second period, and it's an offensive zone draw for the IceRays. Near side circle. A shot from Curtis sails wide of Ruprecht. Getting to it is Neshkash. He plays it up. It bobbles out to the line. That one's chipped around Kuwait. Whacked over by Ruprecht as Finn receives a hit from Jude Curtis. Launched all the way down. The rolling puck will be waved off as slowly trying to get to it was Harvey in hopes it would be called. It does not. Kuznetsov with it near side. Took a big hit from Ahern back in the first period. He appears to be okay as Killian sends it deep. 2:15 have elapsed here in the second period. Still no shots have been registered for either side, as they are still knotted at 13 apiece in that category. The Jacks trying to tie the game at 2. Both teams 1 for 1 on the power play. Seitz lost sight of it behind him as he's still trying to track it on the far side. He had the referee in front of him too. And Tallene will pick up the loose puck and clear it. O'Keefe with it. O'Keefe turned it over. And a backhander from Purdy and redirects over to the corner. After it now is Ahern. Him and Rourke meet once again. With it on the far side is the IceRays. Nekamiev, he did not play in yesterday's game. He'll drop the shoulder and bring it along the near side corner. He's hit ferociously by Dvorny. Good side step around Nekamiev by Hughes. Hughes past the red line. Flounders it diagonally into the left corner. After it is Ahern, wiping out as a Corpus Christi player. As Ahern's right back after it. Him and Rourke battling behind Kearney's cage. It comes loose for Justin Hughes, who's spun around up high. Siegel once again keeps the hand down as it's cleared deep by the Jacks. Yates able to get to it. He'll just twirl it deep for Ahern. Ahern now leaves it. Yates passes it over to Hughes. Hughes drips it on back up top for Desmond Johnson. Back over to Hughes. He'll allow that one to go down deep for Yates. Yates comes away with it. He's got Ahern over, and his pass across is not there. Ahern shovels one towards the net, saved by Kearney. If Ahern maybe was a righty and not a lefty, he would have had maybe a scoring opportunity from that pass from Rylan Yates. And a long breakout. Mansfield 1-on-1. He shoots, and it deflects over to the near side. Rings iron, and a good transitional play from the Jacks as they caught the IceRays sleeping. 15:35 left to go here in the second period. Only one shot registered for either side. It's in favor of the Jacks as they lead 14-13 in that category. Bezier with it from the near side circle. Broken up. Kuhn settles it down, plays it deep. Only forward to Kusler. He gets around one. Kusler, right circle, fires one far and wide past Kearney. Johnson with it. Johnson being pinned and stripped of the puck. Back over to Kuwait. Kuwait will wheel back in his own zone. Fire it across to Johnson. Desmond Johnson, long stretch past the Bezier. Quickly touches it forward to Mansfield. Mansfield streaks to the left side. Pass over to Kusler, and he could not get there in time. IceRays come away with it. Send it over to Crawley. Collision back in the IceRays zone. Play continues on north. Butler stripped of the puck. Mansfield who's been having a great shift so far, remains out on the ice. That one sails over to Ruprecht in the air as Butler and Kuwait get tangled up as Butler's on the receiving end of the takedown with 14:37 left to go here in the second period. Nothing is called, but Butler slowly get back up. Kuwait being walked back to the bench by the linesman. Again, if you're tuning in and you're around the Odessa, Texas area, and you have yet to skate with the Jacks, well, hop in your car, make your way over. There's still plenty of time left in this game for you to see it live. And then stick around afterwards to skate with the Jacks. There won't be another one of those until March or April. Again, the final two games for the Jacks, April 1st and 2nd. As a firing shot from the left circle hit bodies in front. Zagzebski back after it. Near side boards. Sent down below the goal line. Contreras lost a handle on it. Zagzebski plays it back to him. Number 21, no nameplate. Tongue twister of the last name. Offside are the IceRays. Jacks bank it off the bench boards. Kelly unable to gather it as Corpus Christi enters the other way. Right wing. Good defensive play by Wojciechowski as he knelt down to block that frozen rubber. Offside are the IceRays. They're also making changes on the fly. Goes right back over for Ruprecht as it's swept from near to far. Sent forward to Duclair. Under 14 the play here in the second period. Near side pass to Tallene. Tallene fires one. Paddled aside by Carney. Out the other way it will go from O'Keefe. As that one actually catches an IceRay player and deflected back into the ice surface. So we have a halt to play. And a neutral zone drop right in front of the Jacks bench. They've had 3 shots this period. IceRays have not registered one. 13:39 left to go here in this middle period. Kusler to take it. He wins it on back to the captain. Devorny, near side. Bank here. And a ricochet clear. That's the puck all the way over on the far side. Stepping up on the play was Devorny. He's able to work it around the defense. He's back after it with Neskash in the slot. Again, Neskash, a natural defenseman, playing on that top right wing, as Manzo is out of the lineup this evening after being given at least one game from his abusive official 20-minute misconduct, or his game misconduct yesterday towards the end of that second period. And after that one just caromed up and out of play, we'll have an IceRays offensive zone draw to the glove side of Noah Ruprecht. Justin Hughes to take it. IceRays win it. They fire one off the stick of Jude Curtis, and it's a big save by Ruprecht. Devorny after it. Devorny pinned up against the yellow trim on the near side. He gets it out, and they stretch it forward to Yates. Yates sees Hughes with more momentum. Now across. Left circle. They fire, and it's saved by Carney, and the rebound's on the far side. It sends all the way back up top. Ahern and number 12, Brady Carlock, jawing at one another on the way back. Now Ahern with it, far side. Ahern left circle, and his shot will deflect high and into the safety netting for a halt to play. And that was off the stick of Brady Carlock from Ahern's shot. As now Carlock makes his way back to the bench, staring down possibly Ahern. And now there's a new unit on the ice for the Jacks, the fourth line of Mansfield, Kusler, and Begier. 12:37 remains here in the second period. One back up top. Johnson now across. Top of the left point. They fire one. Rebounds loose to the right. And the net comes off. It's zone crease with Stefan Carney. As the Jacks are riding a wave of momentum right now. They have the most recent goal. It was a power play one. And it was scored by Christopher Duclair. With his 15th goal here in his rookie season. Boyard with an assist. He's got points in all 3 games here of the 3-3 series. It's flung off the glass all the way down. Desmond Johnson does not see Crawley next to him until about a second before it reached the corner. 12:25 remains here in the period. Crawley with it. He had the lone goal for the IceRays yesterday in the 7-1 loss. Played forward to Kusler. He's got Begier ahead of him. Kusler enters first. And as his passer shot across, deflect either way, does not reach that left circle. Draping it is Mansfield. Will brush it back up top to Johnson. Righty shot, he fires one. Hit the leg of sights as it carried over to the far side. A dribbler back up top to Tallene. We'll get around one now, too. He leaps around the opposition. Tallene down low. And that one stayed out from a horizontal angle. Mansfield tries to play it in front. Broken up by the IceRays as they send it from near to far. Wojciechowski turns and fires it deep in the enemy territory. Duclair after it near side. Duclair keeps it alive for Odessa, only for a second. Knifing at it again is Tallene. Duclair had his pocket picked by Sights. 11:20 left to go. Here in the second period, that one will roll all the way down towards Ruprecht. Played quickly to Wojciechowski. Snapped near side. Attempted to reach Purdy in. He will gather it now. Over to Duclair. Duclair lines and fires one. That one sails wide of Carney. And now some pushing and shoving afterwards. More IceRays players than Jackalopes as Devorny and Bankier remain at the blue line. Moyard flexing that blade as he's taking maybe a practice lap as him and the equipment manager Bob Pope make their way back to the Jacks bench. And fired up on his way to the penalty box. Is number 26, Braden Rourke. Duclair goes as well. .11:08 left to go here in the second period. 26s for both sides sitting opposite of their benches here for 2 minutes. 6 shots this period for the Jacks, 2 for the IceRays. As we have 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes. Puck is dropped on the far side circle of the IceRays zone. Justin Hughes to take it for Odessa. IceRays win it. Warwick gets 2-minute minor for roughing. And as does Duclair. As Butler gets away from danger. O'Keefe with it. Left circle. And a roll off his tape. They slap it into the far side corner. It's jabbed at by Devorny. And they tip it. Now numbers going the other way for the Jacks if they can hurry. Yates far side with it. Butler gets back in time. It's dropped back for Bankier, who will hit the brakes. Sauced over to Devorny with some room. Devorny now down low. Having trouble handling that one was Yates. So play it deep for Hughes as the Jacks are getting new legs on the ice. Connor Kuhn, Ahern, and Jack Kristen out there. Hughes to the bench. To now send on Dane Hoyard. As that one's whipped around the boards all the way over to the far side. 10-10 remains here in the second period. And once again, the Jacks want to break out the other way. Far side with it. Ahern all the way across. Hoyard fires one, saved by Carney, and no rebound to come. As we are halfway into the second period, as well as the game. 4-on-4 for 53 seconds. And that's a 2-1 Corpus Christi lead here from the Ector County Coliseum. Hoyer to take the draw, near side circle. Hoyer wins it on back. Jack Christen turns, fires one. And it will whistle past Carney. Carlock with it. Carlock circles back. Race forward. Exit his zone along the right wing wall, and he'll just shovel it deep. IceRays come away with it. Kill it from the opposition. It's playing all the way back up top. Stayed on side. They snap one out in front. Broken up. And the puck will carry him to the near side. Kristen with it. He gets around one. Still with it on his stick. Had to roll right off his tape. And it's played over to Foglia. Foglia through the red line. Now the blue. Across. Near side. Berkeley with his two-goal night, trying to get his third. That shot is covered by Ruprecht right in the chest for a halt to play. As there's still a little bit left of 4-on-4 hockey before both 26s hop out for serving their 2-minute minor for roughing. That's Braden Rourke for Corpus Christi and Chris Duclair for the Odessa Jackalopes. Offensive zone draw for the IceRays. 3 seconds left before we go back to 5-on-5 hockey. O'Keefe with it. Had trouble handling it. Out of the box they come. Purdy with it. Right circle. Purdy fires. And it's a toe save by Carney. They have it again from the slot. A beautiful backhand move. Duclair scores! Duclair ties it up at 2 apiece. What a beautiful backhander pass. And he whistles it right past Stefan Carney. 8:56 left to go. The goal scorers for both sides, only one away from a hat trick. It's Charlie Merkley for the IceRays and now Chris Duclair for the Jacks. He just came out of the box, remained on the ice while his team was breaking out the other way. And he gets a opportunistic pass back between the legs. And is able to just snap it past Carney. Again, from the same spot he had the power play goal back in the first, just on the other end of the ice. Practically between the circles, slightly above Carney's crease. And he's able to beat him short side. With it is Rourke, far side.
At number 6, John Wojciechowski.
Johnson battling for it. IceRays come away with it. And send it out in front. Paddle save by Ruprecht. Jacks trying to play it out of their own zone. 2 IceRays collide right at Odessa's blue line. Begier with a lot of speed. He races in. He sends a low shot that's easily covered and sent along by Carney. 8:15 left to go here in the second period, and the Jacks are buzzing. 2 unanswered by them after 2 straight from Corpus Christi. Snapped forward. It will go all the way down for Carney as he comes out the plate. Mansfield sends it lower. Below the goal line is picked up by Corpus Christi. We have a new hockey game here as it's tied 2-2. And a great hand-eye play from Dane Hoyard, batting that one out of midair as that one will go all the way down, however, for an icing call against Odessa with the 7:49 left to go here in the second period. There were some hats that were thrown onto the ice yesterday after Dane Hoyard scored 3 goals in 12 minutes and change, all in the first period. Earned his second career hat trick, the second one of the season for the Jacks, and the first on home ice. As that one's lobbed deep, it will ride the stanchion all the way over to the far side. Both of his hat tricks came against Corpus Christi. As there was a big hit thrown on the far side that leaves an IceRay player down on all fours. Sights back up to 2 feet. Jack still with it. Hughes from the red line, now the blue. Sights remains in play. And a big hit thrown this time from Talley, but he comes up the worst of it. Across, out in front. And a big save from Ruprecht. And they're waving it off. They're going to possibly call it goaltender interference. And here comes some extracurricular thereafter. Devorny going after an opposition. Gloves are dropped. He's going toe-to-toe with Carlock. Devorny throwing haymakers. Carlock has him. And Devorny takes him down. The captain setting the tone here in the second period with the victory fight as his team is locked 2-2 on the score sheet. The crowd could not be any more on their feet as Devorny heads right off to the locker room, as does Brady Carlock, shaking his right hand. One of the assistant captains. 7:05 left to go here in the second period. This is only 2 of 5 straight between these two teams. The next 3 in Corpus Christi, Texas. This is the final game the IceRays will play here at the Jack Shack. Both of them were able to get a few rights in there, but Devorney gets the takedown. And the Scandinavia, or I should say not Scandinavia, that will be Hoyard, but both from Wisconsin and the Michigan Tech University commit, gets the victory fight here with just over 7 minutes left to go in this middle frame. Tie game 2-2. Both goal scorers for either side have both of the goals. Got Charlie Markley, scored the first 2 of the game, followed up by Chris Duclair. One of them on the power play, one shortly after. He went from 4-on-4 after him and Rourke were assessed 2-minute minors for roughing. And we'll see what comes of it as referee Ryan Siegel's discussing things with the head coach of the IceRays, Mike Lisi, the captain. Getting some haymakers in. Will remain 5-on-5. Doors are shut on the penalty box for both teams. And the neutral zone draw is won by the IceRays. Sent over to Kuwait, who takes a hit to make the play. Hughes across. Left circle now. They fire one in it. Will go past Carney all the way up top to Kuwait. Now down low. Back down in front. The IceRays thought they had a goal. It was a big save by Ruprecht. Out in front for Ahern from 2 legs. Hughes with a backhander. And now Casey is down for the IceRays as he looks ahead to the bench. As Curtis has it the other way. He leaves it. As Curtis is decked in the left circle. However, Foglia snipes it past Ruprecht. And it is now 3-2 Corpus Christi with 6:33 left to go. As the captain for Corpus Christi got demolished in an open ice hit. It was a far side shot from Foglia, and the IceRays regain the lead.
The IceRays people here that traveled to Odessa throwing some carrots onto the ice. As a face shot comes right back to center.
And some IceRays fans that made their way here from Corpus Christi, Texas, bought some carrots and have just thrown them onto the ice. We go back to the center ice line. Coming off of Foglia's goal, who just had it momentarily on the far side. And now it looks like we'll have a penalty. Slashing is the call, as it was quickly touched by Corpus Christi. A Jackalope player had a stick knocked out of his hand. Guilty party, number 16, Stepan Kuznetsov. And now the Jacks will start with their second power play of the game once we come away from this immediate timeout. 25 shots on the board for the Jacks, 18 for Corpus Christi. A chance for the Jacks to tie the game once again. The best mascot in the NAHL, Slapjack, trying to energize the crowd here from the Ector County Coliseum. right below us in the broadcast booth as he's banging on the drum. They have Duclair out there, one away from a hat trick. Hoyer had one yesterday. Draws in the near side circle, one back over to Rohr. He'll launch it around all the way out. That one remains in play. And it's sent deep, 6:15 left to go. Off the first shot of the night, the IceRays scored. It was 15 seconds in off a deflection from Merkley. Then they scored a power play goal after there was a lot of traffic and chaos in the crease of Ruprecht. Near side pass for Hoyer. Most recently it was a snipe on the far side from Foglia. And just above the left circle in the Jack zone. Hoyer gets to it. Below the goal line. Jack's trying to set up on their second Jersey Mike power play. They're 1-for-1 so far. Purdy with it. He's got Duclair down low. He sends it to him. Duclair across for Hoyer. And could not gather a handle on it. He backhanded it across to Purdy. Played up top. For Bankier. Now over to Wojciechowski. Throughout the Coliseum. And that one deflects high and is caught in midair from Stefan Carney with 5:13 remaining here in the second period. 49 seconds left on power play time for the Jacks. It's an offensive zone draw for Odessa, far side circle. Hughes to take it, up against Oliver Stumple. Jacks almost able to send it on back to the defense. It's intercepted by Seitz. And sent all the way deep as Ruprecht comes out to play. 5 minutes left to go here in the period. Foglia's goal ended 2 straight by the Jacks as Hughes will play it forward to Kelly. Kelly passes it back up top to Tallene. Tallene now across. Ahern with it. Left circle, a shot hit a body in front. The puck is loose. And it's waved off. It was waved off by Ryan Siegel right behind the net as it bounced up and over Stefan Carney, dropped right in the crease, and boos now reign throughout the Ector County Coliseum. 18 seconds left of power play time for the Jacks. It's their second man advantage of the evening, and they were about an inch away from tying the game at 3 apiece. Far side face-off. Hughes to take it. Up against Stumple again. To the glove hand of Carney. Hughes had 2 go past him on 27 shots. They win the draw. Up top. Sling it over to Tallene with some room. Tallene fires one this time. It's caught cleanly by Carney. For a whistle. 13 seconds remaining before getting out of the box will be Cam Crawley. As he was giving a 2-minute minor for slashing. Kusler, Bangier, and Mansfield out there. As is Wojciechowski and Desmond Johnson. Kusler wins it back. Mansfield sends it over to Johnson. Johnson across now for Wojciechowski. Far side. Wojciechowski left circle. Plays it down low. Gathering it is Gilberg, and all the way past the outreach stick is played. Jacks go for 1 for 2 now on the man advantage after the recent kill by Corpus Christi. They play dangerously out in front to the slot. Great breakup by Wojciechowski as it's cleared out by Odessa and then sent right back by O'Keefe. Ruprecht comes out to play it. A big collision at the Zamboni door. Deflects over in front of Ruprecht. And it's picked up by Mansfield. Mansfield with a lot of speed through the neutral zone. Mansfield drapes the shoulder. Tries to play it out in front. Wojciechowski a little stung, making his way back to the bench. Mansfield tries to get the puck back. Kuznetsov picks it off. Send it over to Zagzebski. Kuznetsov far side with it. Turns and fires one towards Ruprecht. He'll just angle that one towards the boards. Jacks come away with it. Over to Begier, near side wall. Begier tries to flip it forward, broken up by the IceRays. As Jacks are looking for some open ice hits with heads down from Corpus Christi. 3:10 left to go here in the second period. Jacks almost at 30 shots. IceRays still in the teens with 19. Hewitt plays a forward pass to Hoyer. Hoyer had that one roll right off his tape. Will follow it into the far side corner. Digging away at it is Finn. Finn still trying to find it. Now he's pinned up against the boards. It goes right back to Hoyer. Eskash tries to knife it, but it will find the stick of an IceRay player. Played out near side for Curtis. Over across. Curtis again with it, right circle. He fires a low shot that's saved by Ruprecht, and it's cleared out by the Jacks. Carney comes over to play it. We'll send it to Killian. Killian through the logo. We'll lob it down into the far side corner. Sent around. Pass Neskatch. And chasing after it is Matt Harvey. 2:10 remains here in the second period. IceRays have it. They fire one, and a big save from Ruprecht, as that shot was just inside the left circle. That one will go past him. Duclair, a possible opportunity for a hat trick. Duclair fires one, saved by Carney. Kelly across, Pernian. Duclair with it again, as he tries to get a shot off as he was falling down as well. No call on the play. Jack still with it. Tallene trying to send it on back, and back here will backpedal. 2-on-1 for the IceRays. 1:38 left to go here in the period. They have it on the right side. They send it across, and picking it up in the crease is Ruprecht for the whistle with 1:33 left to go here in the middle frame. There's a 3-2 IceRay lead here from the Ector County Coliseum. The draw will be to the glove side of Ruprecht. His left, our right. One back by the IceRays. They fire one, kicked aside by Ruprecht to the near side boards. Flung out by Yates to the red line, gathered by O'Keefe and sent the other way. Ruprecht sends along near side. Crawley in after it for the IceRays. With him is Charlie Merkley. He's also one away from a hat trick. He has it now. He brings it out from the corner. A wraparound stuffed by Ruprecht. And Merkley will send it back to the blue line. Foglia with it. Toe drags around one. He fires one. And a blocker save from Ruprecht this time. Under a minute left to go here in period number 2. IceRays coming back a little bit in shots. Jacks lead it 29-24. Fire one, caught in the left glove by Ruprecht. And what a left-handed save from the Minnesota native, flashing some leather with 41.7 seconds left to go here in this second period. Offensive zone draw for Corpus Christi, far side. Michael Casey to take it for the IceRays. They get it all the way back up top and clear it from Charlie Killian. A blast from Gilbert goes high and wide. Mansfield will play it off the short bench boards and hopes to get it to Kusler. Could not. Sights with it. Tries to get around back here. He's being guarded heavily. They send it all the way up top. Near side pass to Killian. Killian tries to find a lane. He fires it up high, and it catches Tallene, who promptly drops down to the ice with 13.2 seconds left to go in period number 2. An incidental play there. We hope Tallene is okay. He did get back up on his own power as he makes his way back to the bench. Again, Devorney and Brady Carlock fought one another. There was about 7 minutes left to go in the second period. Not sure if we'll see them in the third. Here in the NHL, they get 5 minutes for fighting and a 10-minute misconduct. There was only about 7 minutes left as Devorney makes his way back to the locker room. He was on looking from the Zamboni door behind Ruprecht. And it's all the way onto the stick of Bezier, and his shot will deflect over to Mansfield on the far side. Just 2 seconds left. It's played in the corner. And that will do it as double zeros are on the board here at the Ector County Coliseum. As once again, the IceRays head into the locker room with a 1-goal lead. This time the score reads 3-2. Shots are 29-25 in favor of the Odessa Jackalopes. Both teams finished with 40 through 60 minutes yesterday in a 7-1 victory for the Jacks. One final period left to go in regulation.
Tonight, most games, skate with the Jacks.
And out of the 4 games these two teams have played against one another, only one extended past 60 minutes. It was the first game back on December 17th, the weekend that the IceRays swept the Jackalopes. And one in overtime. The Jacks still earning a point in every weekend series. They got one on Thursday, got a victory yesterday, and they're looking to get 5 of a potential 6 points. But I was discussing things over with some of the players, of course, after yesterday's game, interviewing them and speaking a little bit with head coach Scott Dewar after the very impressive 7-1 beating over the Corpus Christi IceRays. But talking a little bit with them about how important these 5 straight games are against Corpus Christi, as they are playing a team on the outside looking in of a playoff spot here in the South Division. They started this month playing Lone Star, who is in second place, and playing El Paso right now, and quite handily having their way with the Rhinos in Rhino country right now. But they will finish out the month of February playing in Lone Star, which will finish out their season series as well. But these games against non-playoff teams are way more important than those against playoff teams, and the Jacks have to make sure, of course, that they are picking up points in any manner that they can. 2 being ideal, 1 being, again, still having a great showing as they keep the point streak alive in every single weekend series. IceRays on a 1-game losing streak, Jacks on a 1-game win streak. Odessa 2 points away from 50. Corpus is held at 40 right now. They are 19-19-2. The Jacks are 22-14-1-3. As they look to go up 10 points on the IceRays, that would be 5 whole games. Again, these two teams are playing their 41st of 60 here in the regular season. They are the 2 most game plays for a team out of the South Division. Some other teams have a few games in hand on these 2 teams. And the Jacks are off for the last weekend of this month, while every other team will be in action here from the South Division. So they will kind of catch up. And of course, Shreveport, Wichita Falls, they still have some games to make up from being postponed. As maybe once we get closer to March, we might be seeing some X's pop up next to some teams in the South Division, as New Mexico most recently losing to Shreveport right now in their lone weekend game, as they were supposed to play yesterday, but they were down 3-1 to a team in 7th place. But Shreveport has been on the up and up recently as well. They still have to face the Jacks 4 times before the regular season concludes around mid-April. Well, in about 14 minutes, I'll be back with the final period of regulation here from the Ector County Coliseum on the final home game of the month of February for the Jacks before they head on the road for 5 straight games, 3 of a 3-3 series in Corpus Christi, Texas. And then the following week will be in Lone Star, and then a week off, a much-needed R&R before heading into the last month and a half of the regular season here in the NAHL. Corpus Christi up 3-2 over the Odessa Jackalopes here after 40 minutes of play. Stay tuned on Hockey TV or the audio-only feed over on the Jacks YouTube channel. Again, IceRays up 3-2. Welcome back into the Ector County Coliseum on Hockey TV, as well as the audio-only version over on the Jacks YouTube Live channel. The Jacks will start this third period trailing 3-2. Yesterday's third period looked much different as they were leading 5-1. Added 2 to their tally early on. And finished with a 7-1 victory over this IceRays squad. Is currently up by 1 on a third place Odessa. A win for Corpus Christi would put them at 42 points. A Jackalopes win would put them at 50. As the IceRays huddle up on their bench. 20 minutes left in regulation. Devorny in the box. Just given a 10 and a 5 for his fight with Brady Corlock. That happened with 7 minutes or so left, so they still have quite some time of this third period to sit in the box, but it is 5-on-5 hockey as it's launched into the near side corner. Johnson plays it up top. IceRays intercepted it, caroms off the glass all the way over, swept up to the top of the left point. IceRays have it. Left circle broken up at the top of the crease. And the puck sailed all the way into the near side corner as Ruprecht's net was knocked off its pegs. And a big save in the crease by Desmond Johnson as he retrieved the loose puck and kept it away from Ruprecht. 19:39 left to go here in this final period. Shots are 29-25 in favor of the Jacks. Yesterday, both teams had 40. Under 5 to play in the Warriors and Wranglers game, and Wichita Falls up 4-1 in that one. Mansfield with it from the slot. Brings it over to the circle. So an IceRays win, or even a point, would put them in sole possession of 5th. Sent up top to Johnson. We'll drape it into the right corner for a Begier. 19:15 left to go here in the final period of regulation. Spinning it the other way is Finn. Jack Kristen with it. Lower left circle. Rolls behind the net all the way back over. Net is well off its pegs behind Carney as they finally blow the play dead with 19:05 left to go in the third period. Ice Wolves trying to come back with 8:45 left in the third. Over in Shreveport, Louisiana, they trail 3-2. At 10:30 left in the second, the Brahmas are up 2-0 over the Rhinos. Offensive zone draw for the Jacks. Far side circle. IceRays have it and clear it all the way out through the neutral zone. It will bounce into the Jacks territory. Butler with it, far side. Butler turns the other way, tries to dance around Nescash. They get tangled up on the far side. Butler gives a little cross checker towards Nescash as it's played down low to Kuit. The 20s meet behind Ruprecht. Up top for Corpus Christi, and a shot will carry him over to the near side. Sent deep by Gilbert. Over on the far side now for Stumple. He'll leave it for Contreras. Contreras tries to bring it out from the goal line. It's banked off the boards back to Contreras. He's got Zagzebski over on the near side. He's with it. On his back was Kuit. He'll play it up to the blue line. A shot from the point, in and out. The save by Ruprecht. They fire another one. That one will redirect to the corner. Jack Kristen back after it. That one will deflect off a skate in front. And it's played over to the near side and then flipped out by Connor Kuit. One of the top prospects players for the Jacks as he has to remain on the ice as they take an icing call against them with 17:52 left here in the third period. Jacks are currently on a 2-game point streak after picking up the shootout loss on Thursday. Again, they have 3 of 6 so far here in this 3-3 series. It's their third of 4 3-3 series of this regular season. But they're playing the IceRays 5 consecutive times. It's the most they're seeing a single team that many times in a row. As it's cleared out, the bouncing rubber will go all the way down, and settling in is Harvey on the far side, left wing wall. Puck flutters right towards Ruprecht, and will send it down for Wojciechowski. We'll send it along the yellow trim back out to center ice. And that one's lofted into the near side corner. Back over for Wojciechowski now. About 3 minutes gone here in the third period of a 3-2 IceRays lead. Wojciechowski all the way forward to Kelly. He'll spin it over to Purdy. He had 2 goals last night. Duclair digs at it all the way back up top to the right point for Johnson. They'll leave it for Duclair. Good pass back up top. They fire one that's saved by Carney. Duclair with it, far side. Duclair still battling along with Foglia, who currently has the game-winning goal if it stands for the IceRays. On a far side snipe past Ruprecht. They whip it towards Carney. And it's blocked out in front. Kelly cannot get a shot off from the rebound. And there's a hand raise from Siegel as touching that one up is Christopher Duclair, as he will head to the box for a second time this evening for a slashing call against him. 16-19 left to go here in the third. And now the IceRays are on their second power play of the game. They are 1 for 1. Charlie Merkley with 2 goals here tonight. Multiple IceRays players had 4-game point streaks, if not 4-game goal streaks, going into this weekend series that were snapped after a very dominant performance by the Jacks. The IceRays did have some bus troubles as they didn't get in to Odessa until right before warm-ups. Hadn't even checked into their hotel. Had to do so after the loss. Butler with it, near side. Sends it across. Now from the Bud Light logo. They fire one. Hit a body in front. They're still hacking and whacking at it. No whistle. Now Siegel puts the whistle to his lips to halt play. As Ruprecht comes up big with a save, as he's been doing so all night long. Again, minus that first one off the redirect. 15 seconds in. It was an early goal out of the gate from the IceRays. They also had a power play goal. That last one from Foglia was definitely quite a shot from a defenseman, nonetheless. Jacks on the kill, however, for another 90 seconds, as this is a crucial one to remain within 1 of Corpus Christi. Johnson unable to play it out to Purdy, who wanted a breakaway, doesn't get it. Sent back deep for Matt Harvey from Fort Covington, New York. We'll snap it near side the Butler. The leading scorer will just drape it below the goal line and hopes to get it to Kuznetsov. Tallinn sends it all the way back up top. Harvey with it. No nameplate on number 3. We'll play catch with Butler. Back over to Butler. Right circle. Bodies fight right in front of Ruprecht as the whistle was blown from Ryan Siegel. And the guilty party will be number 16, Stefan Kuznetsov. As we will go to 4-on-4 hockey here from the Ector County Coliseum. And the Jacks, after Duclair gets out of the box, will have 1 minute and 7 seconds of power play time. Right now, 4-on-4 hockey. 15-12 left to go here in the third period. Shots are 30-26 in favor of the Jacks. They had 16 in that second period. IceRays had 12. All to the blocker side of Carney. His left, our right. IceRays win it. One to the stick of Killian. Killian brings it along the near side. Kuznetsov 2-minute minor for cross, checking in and out of the chest. It will go from Ruprecht. As the Jacks enter, Hewitt leaves it back for Yates. A lot of room for Jack Christi. Runs and fires one, caught in the right mid by Carney. The Omaha, Wisconsin native in search of his first NAHL goal. As now Merkley comes to talk things over with Connor Hewitt before Merkley makes his way back to the bench. 14:49 remains here in regulation. 30 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. And don't forget, Brady Carlock and Frank DeVorney are still in the box as well after their fight that took place with about 7 minutes left to go in the second period. They have 15 total minutes that they have to serve. As now the trainer for the Jacks from UTPB makes his way over to the penalty box of the IceRays to possibly look something over for Stefan Kuznetsov. And as play continues on in the Jack zone, it might be a head issue or a shoulder that has to get popped back into place as he's working on that now. Mansfield sweeps it back up top. Long stretch pass near side. 4-on-4 hockey. Shot goes wide of Carney. My apologies, that is flipped across now to Christi, and he winds and fires one wide. That was Ahern. As Hewitt will smartly bring it all the way back out as now Duclair comes out. And we head on to a power play for Odessa. Duclair after it, near side. He's got 2 goals here tonight. Duclair stick handling with it along the half boards. Waits patiently as he tried to find a waiting Hoyard. And it's launched all the way down. Ruprecht throws it across. 45 seconds left of this abbreviated power play for Odessa. They trail 3-2. Carney sends it around and all the way out. It will Carroll. Down for Wojciechowski. Jacks are 1 for 2 on the power play here this evening. Wojciechowski sends it around the defense. IceRays have it and launch it all the way into the Jacks bench from their own zone. 13:31 remains, 20 seconds left of power play time. And that should be an offensive zone draw for the Jacks. And it will be in that far side circle of the IceRays zone. As they are able to make changes, IceRays are not. Actually, just when I thought they weren't going to be able to make changes, they send on 2 new skaters. Kuznetsov is exiting the penalty box and is being told to go off to the locker room. It could be a shoulder issue as his right arm remains down on his way out. Kuznetsov possibly out, and yeah, the equipment, or the athletic trainer, I should say, for the Jacks. I do not have his name on my sheet. He has a UTPB sweatshirt on, but he was pointing to his shoulder when he was talking to the head coach of the IceRays. As they send in somebody else to serve the last 15 seconds of Kuznetsov minor. Kusler sends it to the slot. Backhanded deep for Mansfield. Sent up top for Tallene. Tallene fires one. Broken up by the traffic in front. Johnson with it. Left circle. Plays it over. And Kusler unable to grab a hold of it as Gilbert knocks him away from the puck. Nekamiev will let Curtis pick it up. 3-on-2 for Corpus. Nekamiev with it. Across. His pass broken up. He gets the rebound. And he slings it past Ruprecht. 13:01 left to go here in the third. It's the IceRays' 4th goal of the night. Nekamiev was finishing the minor that was given to Kuznetsov, and he is injured as Nekamiev now makes it 2 straight from Corpus Christi. And he was not in action yesterday. Jacks have a little bit more of a mountain to climb now. Down by 2 with under 13 minutes left to go here in this final period. Wheeling with it is Kristen. He plays it forward off the stick of Naskash, so no icing is called. Jacks come away with it, try a wraparound, it's out in front still. No whistle, they finally get one as O'Keefe and Naskash go toe-to-toe with one another as Kearney makes the save in the crease. Devorny and Carlock out of the box as they have now served their 15 minutes. Jacks keep it alive, top of the right point. That one will carry him up and into the safety netting behind Kearney for another halt to play. 32 shots on the board for the Jacks, 27 for the IceRays. Playing back up top, snap shot. Finds the boards behind Kearney below the goal line. Three players meet in the corner. Yates gets taken down from Gilbert and then stapled to that end boards. As that one will go all the way down, bounce for an icing call against Corpus Christi. As they have to keep some tired legs out on the ice, the Jacks send on a fresh unit. As we just are approaching 8 minutes gone here in the final period. 2 straight to start this game by Corpus Christi, followed by 2 from Odessa. And since then, it's been 2 unanswered by the IceRays. Devorny plays one towards Kearney. Easily sticks that one aside. Crawley with it far side, right in front of his own bench. Bankier's able to clear it. Trying to track it is Duclair. Lost it around his skates. Duclair wants it out in front. Duclair has it. Rebounds loose after a shrugging save from Kearney. Denying Duclair right from the slot. As they send it forward to Tallene. Tallene will twist one deep, intercepted by Corpus Christi, banked off the glass, all the way down. And the Jacks send it the other way. Jacks trying to hurry. Mansfield left side. Tries to play it across. It's broken up by the defense of Corpus Christi. And now they go the other way with it. Getting a stick on it was Carlock. As Casey is stood up by Jack Kristen right at the Odessa blue line on his attempted zone entry. Johnson spins away with it.
Go, Jacks, go! Go, Jacks, go!
Just 10:45 left to go here in the third period. Jacks have it. Dancing through the zone with it was Kusler. And lost the handle in the slot as carrying it the other way is Rourke. Rourke plays it behind the defense. Desmond Johnson in after it. Just his second game in a Jackalopes jersey. His 12th overall NAHL game. It's sent around to the near side where the IceRays will retrieve it. 10-15 now remains here in the third. Devorny pinches up on the play to keep it alive for Odessa. Yates unable to do the same as he'll backhand it deep to Bankier. Bankier, a long stretch pass, finds the tape thin, or at least I had thought it touched him. It did not, as Jeffrey Flanagan, one of the 2 linesmen, says otherwise. His hand was raised. And it's an icing call against the Jacks. So an offensive zone draw coming up for Corpus Christi. Here along the near side circle in the Jack zone into the glove hand of Noah Ruprecht. who has 24 saves tonight. Stefan Carney has 31. He replaced Damon Beaver yesterday after Beaver allowed 4 goals on 15 shots. That one works its way all the way over to the near side. Finn sends it over to Bankier. Bankier with it across. Woodard lost a handle on it as he's still fighting for it below the goal line. Played it out to the slot and retrieved by Zygzebski. And he'll send it behind Wojciechowski. That one's lobbed to the far side. Kuwait, Wojciechowski, and Tallene. 3 defensemen out there right now for Odessa. Finn enters. Finn tries to get around one and had his momentum stopped by Matt Harvey. They send it across now for Tallene. They'll send it through the neutral zone. Kuwait after it, as is Hughes. It's whacked back out to the red line as Contreras is with it. Contreras still trying to track it between his legs. He'll send it into the left corner. And right past his own defenseman. Foglia has passed over to Markley, does not connect, and icing is called against Corpus Christi. As they have to return some players as they try to get a quick change on. 8:44 remains. Here in the third period, it's a 4-2 IceRays lead. A big turnout here for the last home game of February for the Jacks. It's Noel Elementary night. Girl Scouts are selling cookies throughout the concourse, just like they were yesterday. As it's sent deep by Contreras. Devorny gathers it near side. Played along to Ahern. Now taken by Casey. Casey twists one over towards Ruprecht, who will guide over to the far side of boards. IceRays come away with it. They dance with it from the slot. They fire one. That deflects up and out of play. Off the stick of Casey from the right dot circle. 8:15 left to go here in the third. 33 shots for Corpus, or 33 shots I should say for the Jacks. 28 for Corpus Christi. As we will head into immediate timeout here in the third period. 4-2 IceRays lead. Odessa is 2-1-1 against Corpus Christi this season. And leading after the second, the IceRays are 12-1-1. And when trailing after the second period, Odessa is 4-12-1. Both periods ended with the IceRays up by 1. They have their another 2-goal lead, or they were leading at one point 2-0. Offensive zone draw for Corpus Christi. Near side circle. Casey versus Duclair to the glove side of Ruprecht. One back by Duclair. Sent along the far side by Devorny. It's worked up to the assistant captain. Now to Duclair. Duclair left circle. He fires one, shrugged aside by Carney. And the follow-up rebound shot from Kelly is stifled wide. All the way over to Contreras. He's being watched now by Devorny. Devorny takes away the angle as he kicks it forward but not out. Duclair with some room on the far side. He'll send it forward. It's fluttered all the way down towards Carney. He'll play it to the defense. Broken up by Kelly, and as his team's in the process of making changes. Him and Foglia battling hard below the goal line. Wojciechowski pinches up. That one's played over towards Carney. Gathered now by Carlock. As he'll bank it off the boards. Intercepted by Begier. Sent over to Mansfield. Right circle and a far side shot. Goes well wide of Carney. Kept alive by Wojciechowski. This is the pressure the Jacks need if they want to have a chance to tie the game. They're down by 2. 4-2 is the score. Across they send it. Tallene will send it below the goal line. Hand is raised. And I think it's going to go against Ryan Kusler. 7:02 left to go here in the third period. And now the IceRays head onto their third man advantage of the game. Cross-checking is the call to Ryan Kusler, one of the 3 assistant captains for the Jacks. As now the IceRays head on to a man advantage for the third time here this evening. They're 1 for 2. Offensive zone draw for Corpus Christi. Far side circle. One back by the IceRays. Played all the way up top to the left point. They try to quickly play it back to the slot. It hit off the outside net. He sent it down low to the left of Ruprecht. It deflects over to the far side. 8 short-handed goals this season for the Jacks. Ranked 4th entering this game across the NAHL. Falling down was Butler. He gets it back. Butler dances with it on the far side. Butler again near side, a one-timer. Kick save by Ruprecht. Bucket still loose. As they send it all the way up top now to Harvey. Harvey over to Butler. He fires one right into a kneeling Begier. And a good block shot from him. As they bank it off the boards. Begier has Mansfield with him. Begier fires one. Punched over to the far side by Carney. And it's sent all the way back down by Mansfield. Killing off some power play time that's left for the IceRays. Under 60 seconds on it. They fire one off the glass from Begier all the way down. Duclair gives chase against Phil Galea. Under 6 to play here in the third. Curtis comes away with it. Curtis near side, the captain for the IceRays. Sends it to Contreras. He tried to hit the brakes. Broken up by DeVorney. And as it's sent around Curtis and out from J.R. Perdian. And as soon as Duclair head right to the bench.
29 remains on the power play.
Kelly and Hoyard, the 2 offensive players out there for this kill. Kusler cross-checking Miner. As it's cleared in the other way by Kelly. Kusler standing, waiting to get out. 10 seconds left before he can do so. Contreras sends it on back to the defense. Back on to Contreras. He'll break out from his own zone. Now through the red line and the blue stripe. Far side. He'll drift it on back. Left circle. Good stick on the puck by the Jacks. They try a wraparound. And the puck is played all the way over to the far side off a redirection. The net is also knocked off its pegs. Kusler out of the box as we go back to 5-on-5 hockey here from the Ector County Coliseum. 4:55 remains here in the third. 35 shots for the Jacks, 29 for the visiting IceRays. Butler and Jude Curtis will be playing alongside Dane Hoyard and Connor Kewitt. And we'll also have Alex Proctor on their team at the upcoming Top Prospects Tournament this Monday and Tuesday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. All games will be available on Hockey TV, the subscription service for the North American Hockey League, as a quick wrister is covered up by Ruprecht. And then we will have another offensive zone draw for the IceRays in the same circle on that far side. Scoring the game's first goal, the IceRays are 13-2-1. As that one is broken up by the Jacks. Played up but not out. After it now is Tallene. Tallene plays it along to Ahern. He'll get some air underneath of it as he sends it from zone to zone. Gathering it now is Gilbert. He'll send it along to the near side. Sights with it. Turns all the way back up top, and his pass deflects back out to the neutral zone as backpedaling with it now is Killian. They get it over to Nakamiev. We had the most recent IceRays goal to make it 4-2 Corpus Christi. Long pass to the near side for Ahern. He'll drop it back for Tallene. Tallene shovels one towards the net. It was picked off by the IceRays defense. It's now to the stick of Brady Carlock, who fought DeVorney. Back in the second period with about 7 minutes left in it. As those two had to serve 50 minutes. A turnover. Carlock with it. He fires one. It hits the end boards. And it's cleared all the way back up top. Kept alive, but fired right into beige here. He's getting chirped at by IceRays players as he wound up on the ice right in front of them. 3:30 left to go here in the third. Shots are separated by 5. Jacks lead with 35. They trail by 2 where it matters. IceRays have 4. Up top for Desmond Johnson. Ruprecht is pulled. Net is empty the other way, and they sail one towards Kearney for an easy glove save out of midair. 3:18 left to go here in the third. Head coach Scott Dewar has pulled Noah Ruprecht, who has 26 saves here this evening. The IceRays' first shot of the night deflected past him off of Charlie Merkley's stick from the slot. They also had a power play goal. And then 2 even strength goals as well. After that, offensive zone draw. Taking in is Duclair for the Jacks. To the glove side of Kearney. Jacks have 6 skaters to the IceRays 5. They send it all the way down. It will bounce wide of the empty net. Johnson will be able to get there first for the icing call against Corpus Christi. There's always a welcoming debate amongst NHL fans and even coaches. And not just NHL, but also hockey is when to pull a goaltender. You want to do it sooner rather than later. No matter how it looks in the win-loss column, a loss is a loss, and that has been something head coach Scott Dewar has said multiple times this season when pulling either Alex Proctor or Ruprecht in hopes for his team to mount a comeback. They're down by 2 with under 3 to play. It's played around Jack Kristen. Butler will get to it first. He's in the right corner with it, and he wipes out. Hand remains down from Ryan Siegel as Butler gets right back to 2 feet. It's pinned by a skate leg. Desmond Johnson without his helmet as he takes down Butler and gives a little extra afterwards. And once you lose your helmet, you have to go to the bench. As now Duclair getting in the mix of things on the far side. Duclair wants some. These 2 teams see each other 3 straight times next week in Corpus Christi from Thursday to Saturday. This is 2 of 5 straight. Desmond Johnson's second game in a Jackalopes jersey. As an IceRay player, that was Matt Harvey comes over to defend the leading scorer for the IceRays, Nathan Butler. And it looks like they're also going to send Duclair as well as Colby Seitz. And the 6-on-5 man advantage with the net empty is certainly going to be negated, as it looks like Corpus Christi will be heading to a power play with 2:32 left to go here in regulation. They're up 4-2 on third place Odessa. I'm going to try to quickly get a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here across the North American Hockey League, and specifically focusing on the South Division. Amarillo lost 5-1 to Wichita Falls. We're starting to gain some steam. And Amarillo again going down a hill that I'm not sure if they're going to be able to climb back up. Mudbugs beat the Ice Wolves in regulation 3-2. They have now leaped over Amarillo. Amarillo could fall as far as 7th place. And if Corpus Christi wins here, because they are tied with 40 points, and the Bromers are up 3-0 after 2 periods of play in El Paso, Texas. So Wichita Falls, a weekend sweep over the Amarillo Wranglers, who again entered this weekend against Wichita Falls, 1-8-1 in their last 10. They're now on an 8-game losing streak. And the Warriors are now at 45 points, just 3 behind the Odessa Jackalopes. Still no penalty numbers up on the board. as they're trying to fix the score clock here. Top 4 teams from each division will reach the playoffs, as it will be a power play for 2 minutes. There's only 2:32 left on the clock. IceRays on their 4th power play. Jacks are 1 for 3, as is Corpus. 5 skaters out there in black and red, 4 in white and black, as it's sent along the yellow trim from far to near. Devorny in after. If you think tempers are flaring now, just wait till next Saturday's matchup. And Kusler did not see Begier, who would have been wide open for a breakaway. The net is empty 200 feet the other way, as we have 5-on-5 hockey, but it is technically a power play for the IceRays, as it's sent deep by Kusler. Off the end boards, it will be played. Played right to a waiting Devorny. Devorny with it. Fires one in front. Hit the traffic. Played out by Corpus Christi. 1:45 remains here in regulation. Mansfield could not collect it. Backhanded across. With it is Markley. The net was empty for a hat trick and misses. Bankier will hit the brinks behind the empty cage. 5-on-5 hockey right now. However, it is a power play for the IceRays. Hoyer sends it out in front. Mansfield with it. He gets one that flutters up and over Carney's net. 1:15 left to go here in the third. 40 seconds left of the IceRays power play, as it was a penalty, a roughing called against Chris Duclair, as that one's just pitchforked out by Corpus Christi. Kelly snaps it deep. He'll give chase to it. Foglia in after it for the IceRays. Under a minute left to go. Cleared all the way down. Tallene trying to get on his high horse. Hand is raised. Icing will be called. 48.4 seconds left to go here in the third. 37 shots for Odessa, 30 for Corpus Christi. Duclair anxiously awaiting to hop out of the box. 17 seconds left before he can do so. And a timeout taken by head coach Mike Lisi of Corpus Christi. And don't forget about the post-game skate with the Jacks following this game, of course. Not in their favor right now. However, the horn has not sounded the end of the game. There is still a chance. 48.8 seconds left. If they want to at least try to tie in and earn another point, they've picked up 3 so far of a potential 6 in this 3-3 series. Mudbugs now have 41 points. A win for the IceRays will give them 42. Sole possession of 5th. Put Shreveport in 6th. Drop Emerald all the way down to 7th. And El Paso still in 8th place. As they are quickly approaching to be mathematically eliminated in the upcoming weeks. One by the IceRays. It actually deflects all the way over to the far side. They play it over to Markley. He has the empty net. And he'll easily score a hat-trick goal. It's 5-2 with 38.3 seconds left. And Charlie Markley gets a hat-trick now for Corpus Christi. No hats will fly for him as he's the visitor, but 3 goals this period. As I should say, actually 2 this period. But 3 goals scored by Markley, number 15. 1 on a power play, 1 via empty net. And the game-winning goal will be going to number 14.
Out front, the Kamiyev trying to slam it home. Instead, it'll be Odessa trying to come the other way. Lewis down low once again. 24 seconds remaining.
Sent along to the far side by the Jacks. Over to Neskash. Hoyer sends it across. Now to Finn. Finn through the logo. Now the red line, and he'll just drape it on deep as he takes a hit from Gilbert. 5 seconds left to go here in the game. From the top of the right point, they fire one on the stick of Hoyer. 1 second left. He backhands one as he tries to roof it over Kearney, and the horn sounds. Ending game number 2. A hat trick yesterday for Dane Hoyer. Now one tonight for Charlie Merkley of Corpus Christi. And a post-game skate with the team following this game in just a little bit. A split weekend series. The Jacks get 3 of 6 points here in the 3-3 series. And the next meeting between these two teams will be a 3-3 series in Corpus Christi next weekend to finish off 5 straight against one another. And will also end the season series between these two teams. Corpus Christi picks up their 20th win of the season and their 42nd point. And as for the Jacks, they go to 22-15, 1-3, and are held at 48 as they have their 2-game point streak ended by a score of 5-2, with the last one coming via empty net. Jacks go 1 for 3 on the power play. Corpus goes 1 for 4. Well, tune in on Hockey TV this Monday and Tuesday to watch some of your Jackalopes playing the Top Prospects Tournament in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. For Dane Hoyer, it's his 2nd consecutive year representing his division and his Jackalopes team. As for Connor Kuhn, Alex Proctor, and Mike Manzo will be their first time. Head coach Scott Dewar will be behind the bench for the NHL Selects as the head coach. And I will be on the call for 3 of the games. I will have the first one on Monday at 1:30 p.m. And then I will have the South versus the East, the last game on Monday. And then the South versus the Central on Tuesday around 11:30. And then make our way back to Odessa, Texas. The rest of the team will make their way to Corpus Christi as they get ready after that for a 3-3 series, and to close out the season series between them and Corpus Christi. The Jacks are now 2-1 against the IceRays here in this season. Another competitive opponent here in the South Division that's slowly trying to earn a spot in the playoffs. But right now it's held by New Mexico, Lone Star, your Jackalopes, and then Wichita Falls. The Warriors just 3 points behind your Jacks after a weekend sweep over the Amarillo Wranglers, who are currently, again, rapidly falling down a hill as they have dropped all the way down to 7th place with a Shreveport win as well as a Corpus Christi win here this evening. A pretty impressive showing yesterday and a very close one on Thursday in that shootout loss to the Brahmas that at one point was up 3-1 in favor of Odessa, and then Lone Star had back-to-back power play goals, which eventually would send things to a shootout after no one scored in the overtime. But in the playoffs, it will go 5-on-5 for 20 minutes. No 3-on-3 overtime, no shootout. Here in the North American Hockey League, the first 2 rounds are best of 5s. And again, the top 4 teams from each division will go into the postseason. Final score here from the last home game of the month of February. IceRays win 5-2. We'll see you next week in Corpus Christi, Texas. Until then, have a good one, and go Jacks go.